This is group one, and our topic is road rage and applied psychology. So let's get into it.
1.
Road rage, sometimes known as aggressive driving, is a modern day phenomenon. It is included as a diagnosis in the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistic Manual, Mental Disorders, the DSM. Aggressive driving is an accumulation of illegal driving maneuvers, often resulting from emotional distress. Road rage is a psychological disorder where an individual experiences heightened anxiety, stress, and anger because of their driving environment. Passive-aggressive drivers, their disorder, who suffer from road rage express their disorder by acting as if they are unaware of their surroundings and do not respond to the reasonable requests of other motorists. Like, for instance, if another motorist wants to merge or pass, they are in their way to be able to not be able to do what they need to do. They also impede drivers from engaging in lawful activities such as merging or passing, which some individuals believe that they have the right to seek out those who perceive to be breaking the law and to punish them for their actions. So they feel that they should have to punish their actions versus, calling the police or the authorities instead of handling it themselves. So they do handle it themselves, of course, instead of contacting authorities.
3,
Sorry.
2, 1.
3 types of road rage. There are 3 types. The first would be physical contact between the aggressive driver and the other motorist, and it could be just one of them or both of them. That would be the aggressor or aggressee, either one. Depending, that could be getting out of your vehicle. That would be the more physical. Second would be indirect harm, meaning verbal outlashes or hand gestures. So verbal outlashes would be cussing them out, or the hand gestures of course, flipping them off, or what's this, or what are you doing, what the F, type things like that. Third type would be harming someone accidentally to distracted driving. So if you're on the phone and you're not paying attention to the road and you hurt somebody because you were not paying attention to the road, and so therefore they couldn't merge or they couldn't pass because you were neglectful at that time.
So, there are many motives and attitudes that come with aggressive driving and the process behind it. So first off, there's individual motives, the driver themselves. When you look at an aggressive driver and their individuality, you see males, younger youths, more type A aggressive personalities. To be exact, a type A personality would be someone who's more easily angered in simple situations. They're more hostile. People find them a lot more competitive and impatient than other people. They also get more verbal and they have more psychomotor manners than many other people do. And these are the people that we can see highly related with aggressive driving. And then there are situational motives. Situational motives are what's around you at the time that make people so aggravated. You can see this a lot with traffic, on I-5, that's a really hostile area when it comes to driving. You have to be aggressive there, and that's just situational motives for that. Another thing is the weather. It's late, it's rainy, you have to get to work as fast as you can, and you're aggressive about it. And that's a really big motivator for aggressive driving. Influence of other passengers, a young kid in the car with all their friends trying to be cool. That can really push someone to not be themselves and be a more aggressive, hostile driver. There are many attitudes towards aggressive driving that we can see. One thing is pleasure in fast driving. We can see this more common in the males. They like to go fast. They get aggravated when they're behind slower people. Making an impression on others. People buy fancy cars. They want to go fast, and they're aggressive with that because they want to show off. They want to make a big impression on other people on the roadways, which in turn can aggravate other people and aggravate them even more. Feelings of power or being in control. Like we stated earlier, people take control of the situation by dealing out punishments they believe other people deserve. So when they're being the punisher, they're actually causing more aggressive behavior in driving than the person who upset them in the first place. And all of those are highly correlated with aggressive driving. So a real world example we can apply these motives and attitudes towards is that Honda Civic you see on Pack Ave every single day. You know, you're trying to commute to work or school, whatever. The individual motive, an example of that, the driver of the Honda Civic. We see them all the time. They're usually a younger white male, not to stereotype or anything, but that's just how it goes sometimes. And people recognizing this, they get aggravated by this. They see it, and it makes them upset in turn when the driver is weaving through traffic. Situational motive, traffic congestion, you know, Pack Ave is always tough to drive on. People get aggressive, they get mad real fast. And then when they see that typical reckless driver, it makes them even more motivated to drive more aggressively, like not letting them merge, blocking them in, brake checking, flashing their lights, doing whatever they can to aggravate them and aggravate themselves. Attitudes. The driver driving the cars could take pleasure in driving fast. They could take pleasure in punishing them for what they're doing. And we can see this every day. You know, you see people blocking other cars in, you see honking, a finger, whatever. These attitudes give people a sense of control, which is false, and in turn dangerous. And all of these attitudes and motives we can see every single day.
In the study, Effects of Aggressive Driving and Driving Characteristics in Road Rage, it compares the how men and women both experience road rage. They found that the majority of aggressive drivers are men between the ages of 18 and 26. However, younger men are not the only ones committing the aggressive driving acts. When asked, over 54% of women drivers have admitted to some sort of aggressive driving in the past. And there are certain different things that set both men and women off in the terms of road rage. Men are more angered by the presence of police near around and just slower drivers in general, like that car going 20 and a 35. You know, that can set them off. And women are found to be more upset by traffic in general, illegal driving, you know, swerving, speeding, and just in like construction blocks for new roads or new, you know, detours that they'd have to take. The psychoanalytic theory can be applied to road rage. You know, it was founded by, you know him, Sigmund Freud, Austrian neurologist and physician. And it's the psychoanalytic theory is the framework for understanding how the impact the unconscious has on your thoughts, feelings, and behavior in everyday situations. The id, ego, and superego are believed to dictate those decisions. The id, you know, I want to feel good right now. I don't think about anything else. The ego, you know, I want to feel good, but I want to also be safe while doing it. I don't want to cause any harm to myself. Superego, I want to feel good, I want to be safe, and it also has to comply with society's standards. And road rage can be compared to the id process. The person has no sight of the dangers it could cause to themselves, to their vehicle, any of their possessions. They just want to, you know, drive fast. They just want to get to where they're going fast. They want to, you know, have the pleasure of maybe committing something that is illegal without getting caught by it.
1.
Alright, we're going to talk about road rage in everyday life. There's some things to keep you out of trouble with road rage, and after that, we're going to talk about some disciplinary actions that come with if you do participate in road rage. You want to keep a good amount of space between you and the person in front of you. You don't want to brake check. You don't want to tailgate. You know, no one likes that. Refrain from making obscene hand gestures. You know, what we all know, middle fingers, and you know, anything that could come off threatening with another driver. Want to stay away from prolonged eye contact with you and anybody else, a pedestrian on the street, because people could brush that the wrong way. If you are upset with another driver, you want to calm yourself down. You don't want to, you know, make the moment any more intense than it already is. Get back in your car and, you know, just drive away. We all have a car for a reason. Show remorse for what you did, apologize, be apologetic towards you and your opponent, or, whoever you're arguing with. Don't blame, don't play the blame game, don't say it's your fault, his fault, this person's fault. No one likes to be blamed for their stuff, or, if you're caught engaging in any type of road rage activity, fighting, yelling, blocking streets, and, you will be charged with a criminal offense. This means you will need to go to court. On top of that, you're going to have to pay legal fees. And on top of that, you may possibly face jail/prison time. And I don't think anyone wants to face any of those. So, no one wants to be charged with it. So, just keep cool, keep calm, and we're all just trying to get to one place, do another safely. And I think all these tips in one way or another could really help anybody who's driving. So yeah, those are some tips and some things that could possibly end up happening. Thank you. Okay, so in conclusion, road rage is a common experience that most people, if not all people, experience in everyday life. The honking, the yelling, the pullover, all that stuff that we see even if we're walking. This is now recognized in the DMS book, so it's a bigger issue than what most people might think. There's levels of aggressive driving. Could start off so innocent and build up to something way bigger that we're not really expecting to be happening. There are different motives when it comes to aggressive driving. Some might be rushing to get someplace quickly and they don't want to be, cut off. They don't want to be slowed down, so they want to blame you. Some might just be having a rough day at work. They just want to hurry up and get home, and they don't have time to deal with anybody else's slow driving, so they're just gonna, try to cut you off and get in front of you as fast as they possibly can. It can be applied to a psychoanalytic theory, so it's all up in your mind. It's it's a brain game. Getting mad at somebody for like the small stuff and cause the biggest outburst that maybe you didn't know you were in control of, and maybe this person did, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you're in a car. It's just road rage. There shouldn't be a reason to get out and start fighting with somebody about it. So yeah, thank you for listening. Team 1.